Okay, so next day, we stuffed our faces yesterday. It was Easter. I'm back at work today. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna assemble the pantries. I think that's a separate wall. I'm gonna attempt to put all the doors and drawers and shelves, and I'll try to complete this back wall. I'm still mulling over how to do all this. I built myself a couple of sawhorses this morning, so I'll be able to lay my sheets and cut them. You can see them out there. Couple of very simple sawhorses. There they are there. They stack and everything. Just made out of 2x4s. Anyway, the issue I'm having now, and this is why things can get a little hairy, is that I've got my spacing figured out here. So I'm going to do 3 inches, 3 inches. I've got them locked in place. I've got them screwed together, so this is now basically one big unit. But my issue is everything is pretty good. I'm just gonna throw my level up here. I mean, this is. Excuse my filming. This is level. Everything's level. Everything's nice and flat across. No problem. No bows or nothing. I come to this pantry over here. This one's pretty good as well. The bubbles in the middle. Everything looks good. It needs to shimmy a little bit. See, that one is not perfect, so the bottom will need to kick out a little bit. But that's easy enough. That can be done. Now my issue here is with this bench seat thing, because obviously I mounted that the same way I mounted the cabinets with the rail and everything. And it's not perfectly level this way, but it's still, the bottom can still be jacked up with the legs a little bit. If I put my level this way, it's pretty near, everything's pretty near perfect. Pretty much everything is in alignment. Looks really good. Smooth, flat, like this will be, when I'm done, this is supposed to look like all one big built-in piece. But when I come to this side, although everything seems level and good, when I come over here, there's a gigantic gap here. So you see this gap? See? Touching, gigantic gap, and touching. So, kind of hard to make this all look like it's tied in when there's like an inch or 3/4 of an inch there. So I can take this box and I can pull it out. I can pull it right out. See? I can pull it out. But if I pull this out, it's no longer level. This one here is out a little bit, but I can lift it up like this to make it level. But then it sticks out 3/4 of an inch. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to carry on with the pantries because they're fixed. I can make them level. And then when it comes to tying this in, I think I might have to abandon the idea of the rail, because the rail has the big gap in the back. So that's a big fudge factor. So I think what I'm going to do instead, and because it is supposed to be a bench seat, I don't know how you could ever sit on this thing really the way it's hanging. I think I'm going to, once I'm done these pantries, I think I'm going to eliminate that rail. And I'm going to take some 2x4s and some lumber, and I'm just going to make a footing for this one. After all, it is designed to be a seat. So I'm just going to make a nice footing, and I'm going to attach the cabinet to the wall directly. There is a different type of hardware provided that you can do that. So that way there, I'll be able to fudge it a little bit on this end. I'll be able to push it this way, maybe flat against that wall, so it'll be flush here. And over there I can shim it out just a little bit so it mates up with this one, because it's actually lined up there now. So little things, there's little things like this that you don't really know when you're not a kitchen installer, but a little bit of common sense too. So I think we can make it work. So this is my project for this morning. It's a dismal day out there. Like I said, I built those sawhorses. It was not very nice. It didn't take very long, so I was not outside very long. So for this morning, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get the doors on. I got to dig out the hardware. There are doors, there are drawers, So what the heck, if I can put this together, then maybe I can be able to clear off my table and start using this as a dining room table again, and actually have the food put away where it's supposed to be. So we'll have a go at that and see how it goes. Okay, well, here we are the next day. In my video yesterday, I think I said I was going to do doors and drawers. Yesterday, as it turns out, was quite frustrating. I wanted to start with these doors. I've got one large pantry door that goes over here. And I've got two smaller doors like this, but they're a little bit narrower and they go over here. So I wasted about an hour. I decided I wanted to start with doors. So I basically ended up wasting about an hour looking for the darn hinges. And I never found them. They're missing. So I have no hinges to hang these doors right now. And Ikea obviously is not open because of this pandemic. So I'll have to maybe try calling, see if there's a call center, or I'll have to look into this. So what I decided to do, since I couldn't do doors, I decided I would jump into drawers. And there's a lot of drawers. There's 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. They're beautiful big drawers. There's pot drawers. You know, they're the soft close. They do all kinds of neat stuff through this mechanism here. There's a screw here and there's a screw here. So basically this door can raise, if your box isn't absolutely perfect, with these adjustments you can tip your drawer face out like this or angle it out and you can raise it up and down. So very forgiving, a very good system. These are metal. You got these reinforcement bars there. It's a very good system. Very nice. Of course, this blue that you see there is not the color of the cabinets. That's just a blue protective film. I kind of like the blue, but our kitchen is white, so that's all going to be white. Anyway, it's a good system, but the drawers were a massive, massive job. Yesterday, when I couldn't find the hardware, I got quite frustrated. Then I started building all the drawers, and you know, I was not in a great mood. So, and the drawers are very, like I said, I just said 3 times how good they are, but they're quite a bit of work to assemble. There's a lot of parts to one of those, and assembling one drawer, it probably takes 3 or 4 times as long as installing an entire cabinet. So a lot of drawers, but they're all built. I do like them. They're all in place. Nothing is secured yet. So this has been a couple of half days. Yeah, this is the only time I kind of got frustrated. So I think the next step now is I just threw the shelves in to give myself an idea what this was going to look like. So my shelves are in this upper, my shelves are in this upper. I'm not exactly sure what goes up there yet, and there's probably a shelf in there. I can't do any doors because I have no hinges. There's still plenty I can do in the meantime. Like I said, I need to try to level this up. I got a little bit of a wobble there. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a little wobble I got to fix. I might take out this little foot here and let this corner touch. That'll bring this level. So I got this coming up. I'm just about ready to put these together and screw them. Before I do that, I just got to figure out this. That wire underneath there is going to be for the microwave range hood. Right now I've seen kind of both ways. I've seen when the box is up in here and you cut a hole and have a regular outlet, and then the cord from the microwave can just snake up through a little hole and just get plugged in. And I've also seen it just hardwired in there. So I'm gonna do a little bit of research to figure out what the proper method is, because right now my box is just on the edge. So it's going to take a little bit, not very complicated. I can either move it down a couple inches down to here somewhere, or move it up in there and cut a hole. and have an outlet up there. I don't think, if it's behind the microwave, I don't know if you need an outlet or if it can be wired directly to the box. I'm gonna look into that, I'm not sure. I still have not tackled this, so my spacing, like I said, is all done here. The only thing I gotta do there is just a little bit of fine tuning on the legs, and this one has to kick out a little bit this way. And then I have not tackled this yet, because like I said, the last 2 half days have been nothing but drawers. Nothing but drawers. Those are done. And there's some drawer cardboard there, so there's quite a bit. I mean, the porch is getting, you know, that window's almost all the way covered up. So, I can't do doors, but I can certainly still progress. I gotta figure out, I know the spacing here, I gotta figure out my spacing there, and I gotta do these. I think the next step will be to figure out and cut these 2 verticals, which will be kind of challenging, but they're gonna be sit outside of this upper box, so it'll make a 30. So that's to take a 30-inch fridge. Of course, we're going to replace the fridge, but it's not really going to be any bigger. Hopefully, a little bit taller. So I will put a filler strip up there, but I don't like when there's a big gap there. Hopefully, it'll come right up. But I'm not sure yet. I haven't been fridge shopping in a while. So anyway, this is just a quick update. The doors are in. Sorry, the drawers are in. The doors are not, unfortunately. That is all for now. Okay, continuing on here. I started installing these side pieces. I've got one put up there, and then you can see how they hang down a little bit. So there's going to be a valance piece go under here like that, or whatever you want to call that strip there. That's just in case you want to, just gives it a finished edge, in case you wanted to do the under the cabinet lighting. I'm working on this one here now, and these are designed to stick out about 3/4 of an inch. It's just to cover up the edge of the door. So I tried a door flush here. Here's a door right here. Excuse me, hard to do with one hand. Here's the door. Anyway, you're going to hold the door up like this, and just meant to butt up like that. Now this one here went in really good, and it's pretty nice and flush all the way down. I didn't do any scribing or anything like that. I'm trying not to get too carried away. Now this one here was a little bit different. If you can see there, I got my clamp holding this up. The wall was quite a bit bumpy here, so I had a bit of a ridge here, a bit of a little ridge here. So what I did is, instead of scribing, I just carved out a little channel in the plaster. The plaster is very thick, and of course I've put a layer of compound over, so I just dug a little channel here on the high spots, little tiny channel, and one here. And I had to do my very first cut, which was right where that blue strip, it's hard to see there with the reflections, meets up with the channel. I had to cut out a little notch up there. So that's actually been my first cut. So now I've got this clamped in place, looks pretty good. I'm going to screw this the same way I did the first one. Oh, excuse the filming. So like I did the first one here, the screws actually go in from this side. So I put 6 this way. I've got this locked in place up there. I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to screw this in. Then I'm going to slide the cabinet for the over the range hood. I'm going to slide this over till it butts, and then I'll be able to figure out. I'll probably have to take this one down first because my outlet is just on the cusp, and it's probably going to end up, the hole is going to end up over here somewhere. So I'll have to do a little bit of measuring, slide this over, and move this hole up here a little bit. So it's going to end up somewhere in this corner. Then I should be able to put another vertical piece here and slide this one down after, fasten everything, and then it'll come time to this cabinet above the fridge. And I do have the strips for that. They're gigantic and they're extremely heavy. Those I'm going to have to take outside to, those are going to have to be sawed down to the length. And they're very long and they're very heavy. And I got to be careful because it's a finished edge. So those I will do probably outside. It's not very nice out today, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see how far I get. Still no luck with the hinges. In fact, I haven't even called Ikea yet. I don't know. There's plenty that I can do now without the hinges. It'd be nice to have everything, but oh well. It is what it is. So I'm hoping to get these verticals in today. Get this put in position, locked. Get the vertical, get this in position, locked. And if I can get to this point where I can slice these long vertical ones that go all the way to the floor. There's one here and one on the other side. If I could get this done today, I don't know if I will, but I'll do whatever I can. I'll be quite happy. Obviously still have not touched this little one yet, but that's okay. I think I have a way ahead for this one. For now, this is what I'm going to tackle. Okay. Okay, got my side piece in. I peeled away the blue film because the other cabinet has to be there, obviously. I took this up or down because my measurement was off a little bit for my receptacle for the microwave. Location's fine. It looks like it's got to come up about an inch. So I'm going to gouge away at this. I'm going to lift this up. Then I've measured my cabinet over here. Here is the cabinet. I brought it over. Yeah, there's some faint pencil marks there. I'm going to trace this out. This is where the outlet's going to be. It was the center. So there, that makes up about an inch. So I'm going to raise that about an inch or so. That should line up pretty good. I'm going to cut this out, put it back in place. And once it's back in place, I will fasten it. Once my cabinet is in, I will fasten it to this one. So everything becomes tied in. So that'll be screwed into this one. I will lock it in at the top. Once the box is back in, I will lock the tabs. Hopefully this all lines up. And then I can get ready to do my other vertical piece right here. Okay. Okay, I just did the modification to my above the microwave cabinet. That outlet was a bit low, like I just said previously. I raised that up a little bit. I cut the hole in the box. I put some green tape there to prevent any chipping. There's a little bit of an owie underneath there, but that could easily be filled later. And besides, no, sorry, this little hole. That could easily be fixed. I'm just going to patch that up. Besides, the microwave will be covering that up. I've got this cabinet clamped in place, so I'm just getting ready to drive the screws in this way. I'm also going to put the locking tabs in here, and there's also one here. So this cabinet will be locked in place. It's going to be screwed, and then I'm just going to carry on down the line. I'm kind of committed now. My electrical's in, holes are cut. So this is all comes down to spacing. The plan had given me a spacing for down at this end, but I've just decided that I'll make the space down there bigger, so this way I can push the whole kitchen this way. I have up until the pipe, so I'm happy with this end. This will give me a bit more gap, I think, down here for when the fridge door swings open. I think because the fridge door is going to swing open towards the wall, maybe it's wise to have everything shuffle down this way just a bit. So anyway, moving along. So far so good. Okay, so things went well here. I think the last time I was talking, I was installing these vertical pieces. So I carried on down the line, and this is what had me scared the most, was these two large pieces on either side of the fridge. But I did manage to slice them down. So the whole point is to leave, obviously you leave a finished edge on the outside, and you're supposed to have, because you also got to cut them to length. So you're supposed to leave the finished edge, sorry, on the bottom. You leave a finished edge on the bottom, and you put your cut edge on top, which is exactly what I did. I've got everything sandwiched and fastened, so this is how the kitchen will be. So I hope I did this right, because this is officially my layout. So the only thing left to do here is a filler strip, and filler strip down there, and I think there's a finishing face here, a finishing face there, and of course the island is untouched. I'm not there yet. I think I'm gonna switch gears here. I might jump into some flooring, but anyway, coming back to this, it's gonna be a little bit hard to see, but because my floor is so uneven, basically this piece is touching the floor at the back, and down here it's ridiculously I cut this piece twice. The first one I cut, I had a gap like this, so I moved it over to this side, and then this side, a little bit hard to see, is much tighter, because the floor, obviously the floor goes down like this. I mean, the floor goes down like that, and it comes down this way. But it is what it is. The house is 100 years old, so when I messed this one up, I moved it over here, and it fit kind of nice. So then I cut the other one a little bit longer, and I think if I had my time back, I would have trimmed the bottom, because I would have been able to trace it. I would have been able to scribe down, at least follow the contour of the floor a little bit better than having this ridiculous gap. But they want you to keep the finished edge on the bottom, that way there the MDF is sealed. Otherwise, if this was touching the floor and you had the sawed end down here, if this was sawed, then the MDF would be exposed, and then any water or moisture on the floor would soak up, and then that's when you get this stuff that swells out like a balloon, and it gets all bumpy and discolored. So I still got my floor that's going to slide in under here. So I don't know what I'm going to do after that. Maybe put a little shim under there, or maybe I've done before in the past when there was gaps like that, wrap a little cord around, but I'm not sure right now. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. It is touching at the back, so it's offering some support. Not perfect, but I mean, you know, when your floor is that out of level, you know, your house is 100 years old. Basically, one of the main carrying beams downstairs it looks more like a tree trunk than a beam. So I mean, it is what it is. So I think we can live with that. Everything looks good, straight. I've left my little reveal here of, it's thereabouts 3/4 of an inch, so that the door kind of sits here. I really wish I had the hinges, so I could have fitted the doors first to see, instead of just holding, because I mean, I don't know if once the hinge is on, is the door going to sit out here? Is it going to be more flat? Is it going to rub? I don't know. I really wish I could have had the hinges, but they're just not there. So this is, in a nutshell, this is the kitchen. So I think my next plan is I'm going to pull everything out. Like I said, nothing is fastened down here. I've got everything secured up there. This is how it's going to be. I think my next move, I'm not going to get too carried away with anything else here. I think I'm going to pull all this out. Of course, the island isn't even built yet. I just have I have the main pot drawer and the main sink assembled. Of course, the dishwasher is going to go on the end here. Dishwasher cabinet's going to be here. And I'm not even sure about that one. It's not even a cabinet. It's basically the dishwasher sits here. Then you've got the countertop, and then there's a side and a back. I do have 2 large pieces left. Like I said, that was my biggest fear, was slicing those big pieces. Oh, and you can see also, I did the best I could, but you can see that my cut edge is a little bit jagged, but that's in the back. The whole point of it is it goes in the back, and then obviously that could be caulked or seamed, or most likely once you put your backsplash on, or whether it's tile or whatnot, that would perfectly cover up that crack there. So that's not an issue there. These big pieces here, they're massive. This is 24, I think, and 3/4 all the way across. And I think they're like 3 feet by, like, 7 feet tall. They're really, really heavy. And I do have 2 left, which are back here. I do have 2 left, these massive pieces. So I'm thinking that I'll probably use one to do the finishing faces of the pantry, and maybe one for the back of the island is what I'm guessing right now. But the cardboard is really dwindling down, so it's good. It's good. I got it. These are the valence pieces. Toe kick. That's the dishwasher and the sink. And that's all my doors, which I cannot hang. A couple of rectangle boxes there that I don't even know what that is. That's probably maybe something to do with supporting the sink, or maybe this is to support the sink, and this is something to do with the dishwasher. But anyway, we're getting down there. Like I said, this was completely full. My bag of hardware, which I've already emptied twice, and no hinges, just the door pulls. So I guess we'll do doors, once the kitchen's all done and Ikea's back open, we'll do our hinges, our doors, and our pulls all at the same time. So that'll be for another time. Still got a little bit of this lumber here. These are mounting little pieces of lumber for support. Of course, I think these are 3.5, but they tell you to set the legs at 4.5. So I don't know. I'll probably just get my own lumber and maybe return that. I've got a mountain of 2x4s there that I got for free. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And for some reason they gave me an extra drawer mechanism. I have no idea why. So there's a couple of errors in my plan, but there's my other 2 pantry doors that can't go on. Oh, and there's Willow. Hi, Willow. What do you think of it? What are you thinking? What are you thinking today? Not much? How's the kitchen coming? Slow, I know. Slow going. Anyway, I think that's as far as I'm gonna get with cupboards. I'm overall happy. I'm gonna pull all this out. I do have to, as I lay my floor down, I'm going to I still got some flaky, papery. I gotta basically get on my hands and knees and do some more scraping here. And there's also a little drywall mud drops, and yeah. So I think I'm gonna start on this today. I'm not exactly sure how far I'm gonna get, but that's my plan. So pull all this out again. I don't know, I must have done this friggin', I don't know how many times I've pulled this fridge and stove out. Must be 20, but oh well. I'm gonna do that, and then I think I'm gonna jump into the floor. And then of course I'm probably, because the stove is not a fixed item, the wall back there is not perfect, so I'll end up doing another little skim of mud, and behind the fridge I'll probably do another little sanding and another coat of yellow paint, because that'll remain as is. Backsplash I'm not going to worry about, because that will be covered over. Microwave will go here. So okay, see how this goes.